2, 1.
Thank you. Welcome, everybody. This is Councilman Britt Moore calling to order the April 27th, 2023 meeting of the Finance Committee. For everyone here and listening online, we have a full committee of Councilman Holmes, Councilman Peters, and Councilman Jones and myself. So we will jump right into this short agenda by beginning with item 2023-185. It's a MOU about our agreement with the Board of Education for Guilford County, and Angela Wines, our transit manager, will present.
Good afternoon, everyone. This will be our third agreement with Guilford County Schools in transporting the students. Overall, it has been very successful. For the first full year that we transported students, we did nearly 24,000, just over 24,000 student trips with Guilford County Schools. Even after they started doing the yellow school bus thing again, many of the kids still chose to ride with us. In some cases, where they live, where they go to school, it's a very short trip versus the get up early, get on the school bus, and then ride all over it. So it has been really successful for us. Occasionally, some student behavior issues, but overall, they're a really good group of kids. So this will be our third agreement, and we will continue to transport the students at $1.50 per day per student. Any questions?
Questions or comments? I'll just say this, as our county has grown, we've grown, your comments there about the fact that these kids don't have to be at the bus stop at 5:15 and ride around for 3 hours to get to school and then another 2 hours to get home. I think that's something that's gotten lost and a little bit out of control over the last couple of decades. So it's good to see that positive piece coming out for the kids that are being served by it. Yeah. Any other comments or questions? Hearing none, I'll make a motion to approve item 2023-185.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion passes. Thank you, Angela. Next item is 2023-186. It's a contract request from our Police Chief Travis Stroud and company.
Good afternoon. We're here today to ask City Council to approve a purchase of new body-worn cameras, an in-car camera system with Axon, a new body-worn camera vendor. This new system, we are currently in a contract with WatchGuard, another vendor. Our service with WatchGuard has seen a significant decline since they were purchased by Motorola, and they're no longer reliable, is what it pretty much boils down to. We're trying to find a new vendor. We're going to have a new vendor when the WatchGuard contract ends anyway. We have been T&Eing some Axon body-worn cameras since October. And also, I meant to tell you, I have Deputy Chief Anthony Gamble with me. He is the one who's brokered this deal with Axon, which is a phenomenal deal in the long run for us. So if we have technical questions, I'll default to Anthony for those. But we're asking the council to approve a 59-month agreement with Axon. It's $4,607,188. This is for in-car and actual body-worn cameras, along with the evidence.com, the storage system for the actual footage and evidence is what it comes down to. This is a big upgrade for us. It's a much better system with a lot more perks that go with it. This has been a long time coming, trying to negotiate this and get it to within the parameters which we needed and which the city needs it. We've been very, very happy with the ones that we have been TEing. It's a much better product. We can see that versus when we do actually get WatchGuard video and compared to the Axon video is 1,000 times better in my opinion. And we see a lot of them. Both Anthony and I probably watched 90% of everything we got of the police department. So this is a big purchase, but it's a 59-month contract. The first payment, Axon has worked with us, would not be due until April of next year, 2024. And then the payments are staggered out over that through another 4-year term.
Comments or questions?
Oh, you were saying something earlier today about the LPR technology that integrates with this software?
Yeah, Ant, you want to hit those things? Yeah, I'll let Anthony get into a lot of the perks that are coming with these cameras that we do not have now, but through his basically negotiating with them. We have got a pretty good product sitting on the table, a lot of technology upgrades that we do not have now.
Yes, Deputy Chief Anthony Gamble. Yes, every car will have LPR, and we are trying to look ahead, so that would tie into a real crime time center if we, when we get that up and running. And so, yes, LPRs are in their cars, will be in the cars.
And you talked about the service with Motorola purchasing. Is Axon self-owned, or are they part of a bigger conglomerate, or they their own company?
Right now, they are their own company. We are working with legal to make sure that we have some wiggle room if they are bought in our services.
So they've been around a while.
They are the leading industry right now of body-worn cameras. They are the leading industry.
And will this purchase be for all our vehicles and all of our officers, or how would this be dispersed?
I won't say all, but all of our marked cars, because some of our cars are detective or undercover. But yes, all of our enforcement police officers, yes, that take enforcement actions, yes.
Anything else?
Is that is it the data or the evidence you're talking about, the video footage and stuff, is that stored in the vehicle and then uploaded later? Is it cloud storage, or is this live, updated all the time?
That's a good point. That's a good question. Yes, it's stored on the body camera and in the car for just momentarily, but with this technology, anytime we hit hot spots in the city now, instead of coming all the way back to the police department, it will offload our videos. So we'll have access to the videos quicker instead of having them come all the way back to Westchester to offload our videos. And so, yes, momentarily it stays on the car or in the camera, and then once they hit a hot spot or come back to the police department, it offloads automatically.
It's not real time, though. You can't.
Yes, it is. Actually, we do have real time in this. We don't have real time right now in our current technology, but our new technology, yes, we can tap into their body camera if they're recording. And so if something happens or in trouble, supervisors can tap into live streaming their body camera and their in-car camera. So yes.
I just know in military uses, we had some of that so that command could see real live if something's going down in a hostile situation, or like in this world, I guess if it was a school safety situation or anything like that, to have that capability would be valuable.
Yes.
Can you remote control from outside, switch it on, switch it off, and adjust volume, anything like that, with any of that control?
No, we don't have that. The officer does not have that type of control.
I'm saying from the command center.
No, we cannot switch the body camera on or off. They'll be in control of when it turns on. Once they turn it off, our live feed goes off as well. So we can't big brother them the whole time, no.
What's the protocol when they turn on the body cam itself? Like at what point in an engagement does that occur?
Anytime we are in contact with the public on a enforcement action or a contact that's not friendly in nature, we have to activate our body cameras.
Okay.
But for casual encounters and stuff like that, no.
Right.
If they walked into a restaurant and a
Right.
person said something to them, we wouldn't expect them to pop their body cam on.
Yep.
Any good questions? Anything else?
And I'll say this, another thing about the body camera that's I'm excited for. This particular body camera is actually two-way. So if they feel like they're in trouble, they can call a supervisor on their body camera, and they can talk through the body camera so the supervisor can see what he sees and he can still talk back and forth. Right now, we do not have that technology at all. The officer's kind of on his own, and we get after the fact kind of feed. But now, if the officer feels in trouble, he can go ahead and turn it on. It alerts his officer or his zone partners to show where he's at, what he sees, real time. So that is a massive upgrade for us, or would be a massive upgrade for us.
The battery life.
Oh, battery life. I'm glad you said that, Chief. Right now, our batteries last about 5 hours, 5.5 hours, depending on how active. We work 10.5-hour shifts. So once they get halfway through our shifts, that camera has to be docked and has to be charged. Often something happens very quickly and they have to jump out and the body camera is still charging. So it's a high potential that we miss that incident on our cameras. Our cameras that we're going to are hopefully going to last up to about 16 hours which is great because our officer could technically work 10 and a half hours and then work an off-duty job, and now we will catch all that footage. Now we will not. We're just happy to get the first 5 hours of his shift or her shift.
The officers didn't carry, backup batteries, or you didn't have stock of backup batteries?
That's not the capabilities of our current one. We can just kind of quick charge it in the car, and it'll trickle charge, and so.
Yeah.
Any other questions?
Anything else?
Hey, last two things, we'll tell you this. He's been negotiating this contract with Axon, the upgrade. I mean, this is a highly evolving technology stuff. I mean, just since we started in body cams to now, you've seen the upgrades, but with Axon, we get the 30-month tech upgrades automatically. So when they come out with new and improved products, we'll get those automatically, which is 1,000 times better than having to redo this every single time. And the last thing I will point out is you as a city council and a city government, and I'm gonna tell you as chief of police, we should not want to operate without these. I can't imagine how we did this job without them. I've been doing it 28 years. We rely on them. They have vindicated us thousands of times more than they convicted us of anything. So this is a good product. I know it's a big ask, but it's well worth it at the end of the day.
I'll agree with you on all that, Chief. It is a big ask, but I agree.
It's the biggest one I've come to you with. I know that.
One last question. With that service contract, does that include maintenance type, warranty type assistance if any of them fail or go bad or whatever type thing?
Yes, that is correct. And with the deal that's on the table, we already get extra spares. So if something does go down, we ship that one off, but the officer already have a spare body-worn camera. Yes. And like Chief was saying, they automatically give us new batteries every 30 months of the contract. So we get that. And every 24 months. And then every 30 months, we get new cameras themselves, which is awesome. So much, we're getting the very latest camera that hasn't even been released yet, and that's the Axon 4-body camera. No one else has it right now. Axon wants us to try it with some features that were added on to it, so we'll be one of the first agencies to have that particular camera.
So you said every 30 months they'll replace it with the newer technology?
They'll replace our batteries, and then if they have a camera upgraded, they will just replace the camera. Yes, sir.
So we'll always stay current with whatever's,
Yes.
that's good.
Yep.
The only reason right now, with our cameras, if we have a WatchGuard camera go down, I'm not here to bash WatchGuard. I could all day long. I could rip them off. We've been so twisted up over this. But right now, if we have a camera go down, it's down. The only reason we have extra cameras is we don't have the officers. We're short of officers, so we have a camera sitting there. But if we have to send a camera back to WatchGuard, there's no guarantee we're going to get it back. And then the last retort we got from was, well, you guys need to buy our brand new camera at this cost. And so we were like, okay, we're moving. We need to move, sorry.
That leads me to another question.
Mm-hmm.
You mentioned you have extra cameras currently. Do you anticipate, I think it's probably always good to have a few, but do you anticipate the amount of cameras you're going to get from this purchase to be highly utilized by the units that you're getting?
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Yeah. Well, you just inferred that you had the good fortune of, not the good fortune of
Yeah, it's
being
not.
short, the good fortune of having extra units. So, okay.
We'll make sure the cameras are going to be deployed per general order on this. We expect them to be out there and in play.
Chief, your current stock of cameras, are you going to try to sell those, recoup any cost on those, or continue to keep those in service?
Well, we're going to be a year. The reason we're trying to move on this relatively quickly and we're a year out is we're moving further back in the queue to get outfitted with Axon right now. So the quicker we get in, the quicker we get in with Axon. We're looking at, they say 10 months. I think it's a year before we're going to get the cameras deployed, just because of the way the market is. So by that time, I don't know how many operational WatchGuard cameras going to have, but hopefully when we get our Axons in, we want to move straight to Axon. I'd rather be done with WatchGuard. It's become such an unreliable product. I can't tell if we're going to get video or not anymore. And that, for me, is frustrating.
Anything else? All right. Hearing none, I'll make a motion that we approve item 2023-186.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion passes.
Thank you.
Chief Stroud and Deputy Chief Campbell, I want to tell you, I'll tell you every time I get the chance, and I'll tell you in front of anybody and everybody, we appreciate you and your leadership, and we appreciate all that each of you officers do. It's a very crucial part of what makes High Point an attractive place for business and people to live and raise their families. So, thank you.
Appreciate that. Thank you. The officers are getting it done out there, no doubt.
Next item, 2023-187, is a our budget performance manager, Stephen Howerlick, is going to talk to us about some tax revenues, occupancy tax.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Good afternoon to you and members of the committee. This is a budget ordinance amendment appropriating additional expected occupancy tax revenues. Based on revenues we received to date, projections for the remainder of the year, we're going to fairly significantly exceed our budget in occupancy tax revenues. The way occupancy tax revenues work for the city, we receive them. $250,000 of what we receive is set aside for the stadium. A portion of them go to Visit High Point, and then a portion goes to the Market Authority. And so the proposed amendment appropriates an additional $600,000 for what will go to Visit High Point. For context, that adopted budget number is $1.65 million, and so a pretty big increase there. For the Market Authority, we anticipate an additional $145,000. For reference, that budget is $400,000. We only pass through what we actually receive, so we will probably went a little on the high end on our estimates for this. If it comes in, say, at $590,000, we only pass along $590,000, and so we're only on the hook for what we actually receive. Talking with folks from Visit High Point, it seems that not just room stays, but also the cost of rooms is a big driver in why we're seeing these additional revenue, and so we're keeping an eye on that market and how it looks for future budget planning. We would recommend approval of the item.
You mentioned 2 of the 3 you talked about where the money went. Is the piece that goes toward the stadium a fixed number?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, 250.
Can the thought process be that any of that money go to prepay on the cost of the stadium?
I'll defer to Mr. Olmedo, who's got a little bit more background on that one.
By the way we've set it up historically, we have just passed on that additional amount. I think that would be a policy question that council would have to consider.
Okay. All right. Anybody else? All right. Hearing none, I'll make a motion to approve item 2023-187.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion passes. Thank you, Steve. Is there anything else to come before finance today? Okay, I will make a motion for adjournment.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion passes. Everybody have a good evening.